In previous videos, we discussed about these p-block elements' general characteristics like atomic radius, electronic configuration, ionization enthalpy, electronegativity, electropositivity, otherwise metallic nature, oxidation states. In addition to that, we discussed about inner pair effect. And that too, next one is allotropism. All these general characteristics are common for all the group elements 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18, not only for 13th group. When you are talking about 14, 15, 16, 17, there will be a small variation in the electronic configuration or in their oxidation state or in their electronegativity order, ionization enthalpies order, their metallic nature, there will be a small variation. But all the characteristics we have to discuss again and again in each and every group. Now, other general characteristic is allotropism. It is common for all the p-block elements, but now we are talking about only 13th group elements. What are the 13th group elements here? Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. In this one, boron only showing allotropism. What is this allotropism? Different crystal in same physical state. In a same physical state, different crystal structures, otherwise different molecular forms. Same in a same one physical state, different crystal structure or molecular forms are going to exist. This is called allotropy, otherwise allotropism, and is also called as polymorphism. We can also say as a polymorphism. Here in our 13th group elements, boron is showing amorphous boron, alpha rhombohedral boron, beta rhombohedral boron. Similarly, alpha tetragonal boron, beta tetragonal boron. Like that, boron is showing different allotropic forms. This is also called as polymorphism. In a similar way, 14th, 15th, 16th group also, their particular elements are going to exhibit this allotropism. Here, what point you have to observe is allotropism and polymorphism both are same. No need of confusion here. And now, next one will be anomalous behavior of boron here, of first element in the group, first element in a particular group. First element regarding 30th group, first element is boron. 14th group means carbon. 15th group means nitrogen. All the first elements in each and every group, they are showing anomalous behavior. They are behaving differently. Their properties are different comparatively with the remaining elements in that group. For that anomalous behavior means everybody is coming in the queue. That one fellow is not coming in the queue. That why is not coming? Because of certain properties, certain reasons. What is the reasons here? Generally, these points are common for anomalous behavior of all the first elements in each group. For boron, anomalous behavior in 13th group, carbon, anomalous behavior in 14th group, nitrogen, anomalous behavior in 15th group, oxygen, anomalous behavior in 16th group. Like that, it is common. Anyway, first you see small size, high ionization enthalpy, high electronegativity. Small size. Because small size, what will happen whenever size is small? More nuclear force of attraction is there on the valence electrons. Then automatically, to remove the valence electron, more energy you have to supply. So, high ionization enthalpy. In a similar way, whenever more nuclear force of attraction is there, obviously high electronegativity will be there. These are responsible to behave differently among these group elements. And now, what is there here? First, for this one, in our group, the first element is boron. In our group, the first element is boron here. And next, one of the other point is to show the anomalous behavior, absence of vacant d orbital. Absence of vacant d orbital. They don't have any d orbital. For example, in 13th group, I will take boron. Boron. In boron, what is this atomic number of boron? Is that 5. What is the electronic configuration here? Helium. Helium. General electronic configuration. Yesterday only we discussed helium here. What you are going to read? Helium 1s2, 2s2, 2s2, 2p1. ns2, np1 is a general electronic configuration. 2s2, 2p1. Here you are going to write. This is valency shell configuration. Here 2. This is s orbital. 2s orbital. This is 2p orbital. 1, 2, 3. Here 2s2 meaning is 2 electrons are there. 2p1 in a p subshell. 3p orbitals are there. In that 3p orbital, one is filled. These two are 2 vacant p orbitals. Here 2s is there, 2p is there. We know nucleus is there. First shell, second shell. First shell means only in the first shell 1s orbital only is there, and second shell 2s 2p only is there. 2d is existing or what? In a second shell 2d is not existing. Here there is no 2d. Like this there is no concept. 2d not there. 2d not there. So not there means how? Absence of vacant d orbitals we are saying. See here. 2s is there. It is a lone pair of electrons. You are supplying some amount of energy. In a reaction, you are going to supply some amount of energy in the form of a temperature or heat, so that one of the electron is going to jump into that p orbital. Already this one is there. It is going to jump here. How many are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 unpaired electrons are there. They are going to 3 unpaired electrons are there. It is going to form a 3 bonds. Here it is okay. Here it is fine. Any other element you are going to take means, any other element you are going to take means, what is it? Here 2s2, 2p1. Here vacant orbital is there, fine for me. I will take some other one. Some other one is like what you can take. What you can take here, nitrogen we will take. Nitrogen, that is equal to 7. Helium 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 2, 2, 4, 2s2, 2p3, 7. Here what is there? 2s2, 2p3. For example, here 2 electrons are there in a p. How many are there? 1, 2, 3. Here 3 unpaired electrons are there. It is also 2s and 2p. 2d. Here also 2d is not there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2d is absent. In case 2d is there, here how many unpaired electrons are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 bonds it can form. In case really in this first elements in each group there is no 2d orbital. There is no 2d orbital. In case 2d orbital is there means, in case 2d orbital is there means, what it will do? It is there means it is going to jump into this d orbital. At the time, how it will be? How it will be? Here 2s, in this p, how many are there? 1, 2, 3. In this d also, how many? 1 will be there. At the time, in case 2d is existing, means how many unpaired electrons are possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is possible. But first element of all this group, there is no d orbital. So there is no possibility to jump into that orbital. That is why their valence is going to restrict. Their valence is going to restrict. Why I am taking nitrogen here? For a better explanation, nitrogen I am taking. Here with the boron it is not possible, because boron having only 3 electrons, it is jumping means it is jumping into the p orbital only. Still one more vacant p orbital is there. So it is not giving a very good understanding. If you are taking nitrogen means already 3 electrons are filled. If d orbital is existing, there is a expansion. There is a possibility to expand. It's a covalency. But all these first group, all these first element in the group, there is no d orbital. That is why their covalency is restricted. And what is that? Because of the absence of vacant d orbital, covalency restricted. Here, all the groups 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Among all the groups you are going to see means the maximum covalency of first element. First element maximum covalency is 4. 4 is the maximum covalency. Maximum. I am not saying 4 is the covalency of 13th group first element boron. That 4 is the maximum covalence in the first element of these groups. Okay, this is one of the, this is only possible in the first element of each group. This is because of absence of vacant d orbital. Why you are taking nitrogen as example? Here it is this is not giving a very good explanation, so that we are taking nitrogen. Nitrogen is not belongs to 13th group. We know that. And next one, what is next one? Formation of multiple bonds. Here next one is formation of multiple bonds. This is one of the reason to show the anomalous behavior. But this is not applicable to our 13th group boron. But it is applicable to 14th, 15th, 16th. In 14th group first element is carbon. 14th group first element is carbon. 15th group first element is nitrogen. 16th group first element is oxygen. So that this carbon can form because of the small size. All the first elements are small in size. First element, next, very next. There is a increase in the size down the group. But whenever you are talking about a first element, it is a small in size. Whenever small in size, nuclear force of attraction is more. Whenever this carbon is there, whenever it is going to other carbon, the single bond will form. After that, there is a good overlapping for the pi bond. And not only double bond, sometimes triple bond. Nitrogen also, N triple bond N. We know that. N triple bond N existing N2 gas. Oxygen, O double bond O. Because of the small size, again same reason only. Because of small size, their overlapping will be effective, so that they are forming pi bonds. The same or different atoms. Here carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Not only like that. Here what I can take? C triple bond O. Carbon can make a multiple bond with oxygen. This is possible only in the atoms which are having a small size. Why only in small size? Small size, the overlapping will be effective, so that they are forming multiple bonds. You can observe this formation of multiple bond in all the first elements of each group. That's what. These are all the different reasons to show the different behavior, anomalous behavior. Okay, now then we will see other topic.